If you played Roblox around 2015 to 2017, you might have remembered the game Prison Life and how popular it was back then. Now, it barely gets any new visits at all, and the only time it's mentioned in YouTube are from commentary channels talking about the game's downfall. So what the heck happened? In today's video, I'll be giving you the full timeline of how this game started, rose to fame, and then fell off. This is just my own interpretation of the game based on my research and my experience playing it, so if you have a different view on it, feel free to drop it in the comments because I love reading your guys' opinions. But anyways, let's go all the way back to 2014. So the story begins in May 2014 when the Roblox dev named Aesthetical created a little game that would be known as Prison Life. And on May 30th, he released the game to the public. The first version was surprisingly good for the time, and even though it wasn't in the level of modern day Roblox games, it was decent for a game on 2014. You had working meal times, punching tools, uniforms, trucks, escape routes, even a surrounding suburb. Compare that to other Roblox games back then where half the time you'd just spawn into some glitchy map with free models spammed everywhere. Prison Life instantly stood out for being the greatest game in the guard versus prisoner genre. Over the next months, the game just kept expanding. By June and July, Aesthetical added handcuffs, riot shields, vent escapes, and proper schedules. Guards got riot gear, prisoners could smuggle in shanks, and criminals got their first real hideouts. Every update gave players something to look forward to. This was the golden era of Roblox roleplay as kids were forming gangs in the cafeteria, guards were obviously abusing their power, and everyone in the server was having fun. Even I can remember playing this game back in 2015 when I first got Roblox on a guest account. But nothing compares to 2016 when Prison Life version 2.0 dropped. This was the peak of the game. The entire map got rebuilt, bigger cafeteria, larger yard, revamped guard areas, extended prison rooms, a criminal warehouse base, even redesigned sewers. Aesthetical made the game feel modern compared to everything that was on Roblox during the time. He also tweaked some of the core gameplay mechanics. Cops can now drop key cards, prisoners had better escape options, and there was a stamina system that made running way more balanced. This is the version that literally everyone remembers. The best part of the game is that you didn't even need to win. Even if you were a prisoner being unable to escape because the guards are too good, you'd still be having fun. And then Jailbreak got released. In 2017, two rival developers, Asimo 3089 and Bad CC, dropped the game that basically took Prison Life's formula and blew it up into an entire open world experience. Instead of being stuck inside one prison map like Prison Life, Jailbreak gave you an entire city with banks, jewelry stores, and tons of new vehicles. It was very polished, it was flashy, and it became the most popular game on Roblox overnight, and it was so iconic to the point Roblox's official symbol on the App Store was literally Jailbreak at one point. The amount of players that hopped off Prison Life was a lot, because why play a small prison map when you could rob banks and fly helicopters in Jailbreak? Prison Life's numbers tanked, and just like that, the crown got passed on. Even the rise of other prison games like Redwood Prison, Mad City, and tons of prison-themed obbies were not helping with the declining player base. To be fair though, Prison Life set the base plate for Jailbreak to thrive in. By 2018, updates had slowed down and exploiters started taking over. The last major content update came on March 1st, 2019. Cars got improved steering, mobile support was added, and almost every sound effect in the game was replaced. I don't know about you guys, but back then the sound effect was perfectly fine. I don't know why Aesthetical needed to change that. In the game's description, Aesthetical wrote that he was busy with university and couldn't dedicate as much time to the game anymore. And since the only dev wasn't able to intervene in his game, tons of exploiters started taking over. Guards would get insta-killed, exploiters could become immortal, and even some disgusting hacks were being used in the game that I cannot show, otherwise this video would get taken down. Servers weren't fun anymore unless you enjoyed getting flung into the sky by an exploiter. However, it wasn't the devs' fault exactly. Roblox's anti-cheat system back then was horrible and most games had to make their own anti-cheat to prevent exploiters. Fast forward to 2020 to 2021, you may remember those years for the coronavirus epidemic. You would think that since everyone was stuck at home, maybe more players would join the game and Aesthetical would have more time to work on it. Nope, the only update was literally bug fixes. In January 2021, cops couldn't drop keycards anymore because exploiters were farming them like sugarcane. Then a week later, the cops would drop keycards again because the normal people who weren't hacking complained that it was a lot harder to escape without the keycards. The kill all exploit though did get patched, only for exploiters to find a way around it literally 3 days later. By this point, Prison Life wasn't really Prison Life anymore, it's literally just a place for exploiters to test out their scripts. If you join the server, odds are at least one guy is either flying, no clipping, or spamming admin commands. But then in February 2023, something very unexpected happened. Aesthetical pushed an actual patch, and I'm not talking just a tiny bug fix, it was huge. He fixed the map glitch where players fell through the world, he patched auto respawn, he patched spammers, and he patched the team switch exploit. For a while, it felt like Prison Life was truly making a comeback. People were hyped, old fans were returning, and it almost seemed like the game might have a redemption arc. Sadly, this didn't last long because no new content was coming out and exploiters adapted like Mahoraga, so the hype fizzled out and it became a script testing ground again. Now here we are more than halfway through 2025. The original Prison Life is still up, but it's just a shell of what it used to be. Most people either play it for nostalgia or just to test out their new exploits. Multiple Reddit threads constantly talk about how the game's abandoned, how the dev moved on, how the dev doesn't even care anymore, and how it's basically unmoderated. But despite all that, Prison Life's legacy is still undeniable. It literally popularized the guard versus prisoner genre that paved the way for other games to thrive, such as Jailbreak. Anyways, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. See ya!